Hey everyone, I'm Lisa, and I need to share something that still gives me chills. A few months ago, my husband Mark and I decided to rent a jet boat for a little adventure on the ocean. We thought it would be a fun way to spend the weekend, but what we experienced that night was something I'll never forget. It was a stormy night, and the sea had a mind of its own. We set out around 7 p.m., the sun dipping below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The ocean looked beautiful, but there was an unsettling feeling in the air. As we sped across the water, the wind whipped through our hair, and I felt a rush of excitement. But as the sun disappeared, dark clouds rolled in and the atmosphere shifted dramatically. "Hey Lisa, look at those clouds," Mark shouted over the roar of the engine. I turned to see ominous storm clouds gathering in the distance, but I shrugged it off. "It's probably just a passing shower," I replied, trying to sound more confident than I felt. As we continued, the wind picked up and the waves began to crash against the boat more violently. Suddenly, the sky lit up with a flash of lightning, followed by a deafening clap of thunder. My heart raced as I looked at Mark, who was now frowning, clearly concerned. "We should head back," he said, his voice tense. I nodded, but before we could turn around, the storm hit us full force. Rain poured down in sheets, and the wind howled like a banshee. The boat rocked violently, and I clung to the sides, panic rising in my chest. "Hold on!" Mark yelled, trying to steer the boat through the chaos. I could barely see anything through the rain, and the waves were crashing over us, soaking us to the bone. I felt completely helpless. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I heard something. A low, eerie sound that seemed to come from the depths of the ocean. It was almost like a whisper, but it was drowned out by the storm. I looked at Mark, my eyes wide with fear. "Did you hear that?" I shouted, but he was too focused on navigating the boat to respond. The sound grew louder, more insistent, and I felt a chill run down my spine. It was as if something was calling to us from the dark waters below. "We need to get out of here," I screamed, but the storm was relentless. The boat was tossed around like a toy, and I could see the shoreline in the distance, but it felt so far away. Suddenly, a massive wave crashed over the boat, and I was thrown against the side. I struggled to get back up, but when I looked around, Mark was gone. Panic surged through me as I called out his name, my voice barely audible over the storm. "Mark, where are you?" I shouted, my heart racing. I searched frantically, but the boat was spinning wildly, and I couldn't see anything through the rain. Just then, I heard that whisper again, clearer this time, almost like a voice calling my name, "Lisa." I froze, my blood running cold. It was coming from the water, and I felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over me. I grabbed the edge of the boat, trying to steady myself, when I saw a figure in the water, pale and ghostly, reaching out toward me. I don't remember much after that. I must have blacked out from fear, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the beach, the storm gone, and the sun shining down on me. I looked around, disoriented, and that's when I saw Mark lying a few feet away, unconscious, but alive. I rushed to him, shaking him awake. "Mark, thank God you're okay." But as he opened his eyes, I could see the confusion and fear in them. He didn't remember what had happened, and neither did I. It was as if the storm had erased our memories of that night. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that something was out there in the water, watching us, waiting for us. I still hear that whisper sometimes, especially when it storms. It's a reminder of that terrifying night. and I can't help but wonder what really happened out there on the ocean.